Well, it didn't start the way it ended, and it definitely didn't end the way it started. The Houston Astros are handed probably the worst loss of the season. That's what we're going to talk about. Eric and I were watching this game and watching things unfold, and sometimes your plan doesn't work the way it's supposed to. So on this episode, we're going to break that down and talk about maybe how this shows the Astros' real need for a relief pitcher. I'm H-Town Wheelhouse. This is Locked On Astros. Join us now.
It's the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros. Your team every day, even after I don't think the Astros have done this, blown a 7-run lead since the 2000s. This was a pathetic loss. This is probably one of the worst losses of the season. Brett, where can I find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and at Stros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive, always Stros.
All righty, so before we get into today's show, let's go and talk about the Locked On MLB prospects. It's draft season's over, but now we get to talk about all the great prospects we got. And Aaron Layton does a great job. He does player interviews, farm system breakdowns every day. Subscribe to Locked On MLB Prospects on Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast. Just go listen to that. And don't forget to subscribe to Locked On Astros on YouTube. I think we're at 784 right now. We're almost to 800. We're trying to get to that magical number of 1,000. So guys, please go out there, subscribe to YouTube, and go ahead and subscribe. Continue listening to us on Odyssey and Apple and Spotify, wherever you're listening to your podcasts. Just listen to the Locked On Astros podcast, and we will do this. Yes. Somebody just says we need to go to sleep. I know we do need to go to sleep. I'm still trying to get over sickness, but we got to talk about this stupid dang game, and we wanted to talk about the good things that happened. And the Astros scored 6 runs in the first inning, and we saw Kyle Tucker have another home run. Then we saw Abraham Toro hit a home run. There's a lot of good things that happened in this game. Before we get into the bad stuff, Martin Maldonado had another home run. So there's a lot of positives. And I know at yesterday's show, a lot of people were saying, well, I'm worried about the Astros offense. I said, I'm not really worried about the Astros offense. They're going to come. The Astros offense came tonight. Unfortunately, they kind of fell back asleep because I guess it was past midnight. The bats just kind of fell asleep.
Yeah, there's really only one word to describe this loss, and it's bullpen. You should score 8 runs and be fine and win against a team who hadn't scored more than 6 runs in a single game all season. And so this game right here was telling. And yes, I do want to stay away from the negative stuff at first. Brantley was 3 for 4. Correa was 2 for 5. Maldonado was 2 for 4. Tucker added a hit with the solo shot. So did Abraham Toro. And I see a lot of people that are commenting about DFA and Rayleigh and all these different things. And here's the thing. Here's what you have to realize after a loss like this is it's not a time to get emotional. I had people getting emotional with me online, and it's just like, come on, man. It's like relax. It's one game. It's one game in Seattle. Seattle's not better than us. Seattle's they'll be 6 games back because of this. They were 7 games back going into this. Make no qualms about it. The Astros are winning the AL West. That's not an issue. The issue is the bullpen. And you've got the hitters. Remember, you still have Bregman out, who has not. And, for what it's worth, you need guys like Martin Maldonado contributing. You need guys like Abraham Toro contributing. Aledis Diaz, when he comes back, hopefully he contributes. He is that Swiss Army knife player, and he's going to be a welcomed addition to this ball club, Eric. Luis Garcia had his career-high strikeouts. I mean, he was doing great. And I kind of joked, maybe Dusty left him out there too long. No, he just left the pitch hanging too high. I mean, that pitch that he rocked, I think just about any major leaguer would have rocked that pitch because it was not just center cut. It was high in the zone, right down the middle of the plate. That was a steak dinner. And hitters rarely miss that. That's why they're pros.
Yeah, and Luis Garcia, I mean, he's earned the chance to finish the fifth inning, and so I believe it was 0-2 pitch that that Seager hit the home run out of. Yeah, I don't think that Dusty should have pulled him sooner. I'm not in that boat. I think that Garcia wasn't really his. I don't know. He didn't have his right stuff, but at the same time, he did have the career high 9 strikeouts, but did allow the career high 5 earned runs. He did make that throwing error, and so that's why only 5 of the runs counted as earned runs, and he did allow the 6 runs, but only allowed 6 hits. So you have to. So his ERA was inflated up to 3.19, and so it's a bad start. I'm not too worried about Luis Garcia. What I am worried about is the rest of the bullpen, and Stanek was as surprised as everybody was that Dusty Baker went to go take him out. He looked at Dusty Baker like, "Are you for real? You taking me out? It's my birthday. You're taking me out." And so it's just like I don't know what would happen if they would left Stanek in, but Rayleigh did not. He came in, got 2 quick 3 strikes, and I think the third one was a foul ball, and then he walked the batter, and then the grand slam happened.
Yeah. So here's what I'm wondering, and of course this is when you and I come in, or fans come in, and we kind of armchair quarterback, for lack of a better term. I'm wondering if Rayleigh should have gone in after Taylor and then Stanek, because Stanek's more your high octane guy. He throws hard. Would he be the guy to go in Rayleigh first and then Stanek? But here's the thing. Rayleigh has not pitched since, what did they say, July 4th or 5th, like over 16 days. He has not thrown on a major league mound. Number 2, he's inherited 26 runners this season. 11 runners have crossed the plate before he got into that situation, or actually 10 of the 26 runners crossed the plate. Dusty has used him and put him in a ton of really tough situations to where even if Rayleigh has pitched good, it doesn't show because he's put in between a rock and a hard place. And that, I know everybody's mad at Rayleigh. Rayleigh's the worst. He's horrible. All these things that are flying around. But when you look at the situations he's been put in, now, why would you continue to put him in those situations if almost half of the runners that he inherits end up home? Put him in situations that are less pressure-like. And so, but this then again tells a tale of why we need one or a couple more relief arms to help shorten this bullpen, because Baez doesn't come back, James doesn't come back. I mean, Urquidy's still out. So, I mean, come on.
To answer your question, I did the math. This is Rayleigh inherited 28 runners this year. 12 of them have scored now.
Okay. So they added 2. Yeah.
Yeah. So so it's not quite half, but I get what you're saying. And he was coming off of a long layover, and you're expecting him to get a save because Ryan Presley was not available because we've used him 2 days in a row. And so that's the situation. And that's why you need maybe not another closer, but another high leverage guy. And you had to go to Stanek earlier. And so you had to use because of Luis Garcia didn't go that deep in game. You have to use some of your high leverage guys a little bit earlier than you would like to in this game. So that's why James Click is probably looking at this game. And also the A's made a trade today. So that's something that James Click definitely has to look at. to before he does that. So you have to have all the right parts, and it just didn't seem like the Astros had the right parts tonight. So speaking of parts, let's talk about rockauto.com.
Yeah, hopefully there's a rockauto.com for relief pitchers, but since there's not, let's go to rockauto.com for your vehicle, whether you need brakes, brake pads, lights, carpet, whatever you need. Whether you're rocking the mom van or the soccer mom vehicle or the Dodge Charger, go grab whatever you need at rockauto.com. They've been around for 20 years. They're family owned. They are a great business. They provide this website that's easily navigable. Not only that, their prices are 30, 50, sometimes 100% less than what you would pay in a chain store. Because see, when you and I go to a chain store, the average everyday Joes that we are, what happens is they charge us different prices. Why? Because we're not professional mechanics. Not at Rock Auto. They don't do that. So check them out. Go to rockauto.com, and when you buy your product in the "Where did you hear about us" box, put "Locked On" to let them know that we sent you. Rock Auto, reliable low prices, amazing website, all the parts you'll ever need at rockauto.com. Now, I need to say something because there's a lot of people listening can't see what's going on, and I'm not going to address everything. But Miles Straw is not trash suddenly. I mean, Jose Altuve went 0 for 5. Is he now trash because he went 0 for 5? No, we're not going to call our guys trash because they have a bad game. I promise you, I'm telling you, our center field position is ranked 7th in WAR in the league. We are top 10 in the league. So don't let all the emotions of a bad loss make you just trash. Well, let's just sell the team. I mean, is this like scorched earth? We're in rebuild mode. You know who's in rebuild mode right now? The mother freaking Yankees. The Yankees. Aren't you glad we're not
trading
them?
for players right now? So
yeah, they may be, but there's nothing going to help that. That's like patching a hole on the Titanic. That ship's going down, Eric. That ship is not going to sail. The Astros will be fine. The Astros, imagine this. Imagine Baez comes back. Imagine James comes back. Imagine these guys come back, or Heedy comes back, and that solves our bullpen issues. Imagine that. Imagine we go out and get one arm, Kimbrel or Rogers, one arm, and that's all we need. I mean, who says we've got to swing for the fences? Because I think we've got a lot of what we have. We just had a lot of injury issues and personnel issues. Presley couldn't come in. He's been used 2 nights in a row. So everybody needs to pump the brakes on freaking out because it's okay. We're still kicking everybody's butt. We just swept the Rangers. We couldn't beat bad teams. We still own good teams. It'll be fine. Lance McCullers will get the win tomorrow. You watch.
Alrighty. So after a game like this, I wish I could. It was not 1:30 in the morning. We could go to Hooters and have a beer. Tell us a little bit about Hooters.
Yeah, that's right. So here's the deal. This is what I want you to do. If you are around the Webster area, if you're on the Clear Lake area, I need you to know that this Thursday they have what's called Texas Thursday. Texas Thursday, they want you to come see your favorite Hooters calendar girls in cutoff jeans and cowgirl boots and dance to Copperhead Road. Why? They got $15 buckets and they've got $5 crafts, and they have even more every Thursday. They're located at 20796 Gulf Freeway. That's the South Gulf Freeway, not the North Freeway, the Gulf Freeway, headed towards Galveston. And coming up on August the 7th, they will have the UFC fight on Hooters of Webster, good wings, cold beer, and the world famous Hooter girls, no cover charge. They've got great service, excellent food. Their food's always fresh. Their beer's always cold, even the stuff on tap. Again, $15 buckets, $5 crafts. Text Thursday on Thursdays. Every Thursday, go check out Hooters over here in Webster.
All right. So some people in the chat are asking if there's something's wrong with Luis Garcia's velocity. I didn't notice anything. He still
I looked in the game. I saw someone put that on Twitter. I literally was watching his velo. His velo only changed because he was throwing changeups more than he usually does. Right. His velo stayed the same from the first inning to the 5th inning. His velo was between 92.5 and 94 to 95 miles per hour. His velo did not come down. He's not hurt. He just made 2 bad pitches, literally 2 bad pitches.
All right. So for all the people watching live, I want to get some interaction here. So we all remember that game at home, the extra inning game where the Astros blew the game to San Diego in today's game. which one is the worst loss of the season? I'm gonna have to lean towards this game because this one was the whole we had the 7-1 lead and everything, but that San Diego game was kind of a heartbreaker too, especially with how we lost it back then. But which one was the biggest heartbreaker? I would have to say, I mean, most of us were there at that game, but this was kind of a different one. So I think this one tonight. So let's
Adrian, Garcia, I almost said Garcia. Sorry. He said tonight. DF7 says Padres was worse. And he said, Adrian also said we had no business losing this one after 6 runs in the first.
Right.
We should have put up a few more crooked numbers in at least 2 or 3 more innings. Because
in the second inning, they had him on the ropes a little bit more, and they should have just finished him instead of just let him get out of there a little bit more. So
yeah, and I think at the end of the day, if you ask an Astros player, all losses are tough. Anytime you have a lead and you lose it, because not only did you score 8 runs, but you still had to continue to keep scoring. And Michael Brantley didn't get a hit every single at bat, but his first 3 at bats he was perfect. Altuve, I promise you ask him, he would say, "This is on me. I let my teammates down." He didn't get a hit, and so you had a couple things. Miles Straw, who's been reliable with the bat, even just getting singles or doubles, getting on base, stealing bases, putting yourself in runners, in scoring position. At the end of the day, I guess since I was there at the San Diego loss, the San Diego loss just felt awful, just because I knew, I was like, oh my God, maybe the Padres are better than us. But I'll tell you right now, Seattle's not better than us. Seattle's playing very good baseball. Don't underestimate them. Don't disrespect them. They have done far and above what I thought they would do this year, and they deserve all the credit for that. But at the end of the day, we have the better ball club.
Yeah. So Jim Miller says, every year we lose several games like this. Everyone does. We will recover and go on a winning streak soon, just like we did after San Diego loss. Yeah. So I'm not too worried about it. It just sucks the way we were all pumped up with how this game started, and then all of a sudden the bullpen implodes. But if anything, this kind of shows James Click, hey, no, we need to go out and do something. You can't be going out there and getting Francisco Liriano or somebody like that. So there's a lot of teams out there making some moves. The Astros have not made any moves yet. That does not mean that they're not going to make a move. But so far it's been kind of quiet. That does not mean anything. But I had something on. So we got to talk about Rayleigh getting thrown out of the game for throwing. And I know that you got into kind of something with some people.
We won't say who. Say who.
But
I'm not going to call him out on the podcast.
Yeah. So Dusty Baker said the umpire told him he knew Brooks Rayleigh wasn't trying to hit J.P. Crawford, but Baker said the umpire told him, "My job is to control both dugouts, hence the injection." So he said,
So if your job is to control the dugouts, that doesn't mean you have to throw the guy out. Number one. Number two, Scott Service, who I actually admire and have a great respect for, acted very unbecomingly as a manager. I jumped out of the Brooks Rayleigh has been out since early July because of COVID protocol. He gives up a grand slam. Oh yeah, this guy has a major hook. Do you think he's really going to throw it? This guy's not Joe Kelly. He's not some punk, out there on the mound. He doesn't have a history of hitting people. He's hit one other batter all season, and it was a curveball. Now, if he threw a fastball and it went straight for his temple, then I might think that Rayleigh's in there for some discussion. And then, also, I just want to say this. There's a guy here that says CS Rise. I think he's a Mariners fan. Just know that the last time y'all won the AL West, the Diamondbacks beat the Yankees in the World Series. So that's where I'll settle that. Okay, so anyways, I digress. So here's my point. That was a stupid ejection. He should have warned and then left it at that. The reason why he ejected is because he felt pressure from the Mariners manager, and I think that's complete BS. There was no intent, and callous, and Blummer's a major league player, right? Blummer's there's no intent there.
Right.
I mean, maybe if Stanek's on the mound, right? And maybe Stanek's throwing heat and a fastball gets away. That's a little bit harder to tell intent because of how hard he throws. But freaking Rayleigh's throwing hooks. All he's throwing is breaking pitches. And it catches him in the shoulder. I mean, give me a freaking break. It's just so disingenuous for anybody who's a baseball fan, for anybody who's breathed oxygen for more than 4 years on this earth, to think that Brooks Rayleigh purposely threw that ball at them. And let me tell you a little bit of disingenuous, I guess, emotion towards this whole thing. The fans, did you hear how they cheered and were totally overjoyed when Yuli got hit? Now, Yuli didn't get the hit that bad, but the fans went absolute berserk and they freaking had a love fest. They're like, yeah, we hit him. And you can't say you hit the cheaters. It's like, so how is that okay?
That's how they've been all year. Every time we play the Mariners, they've been one of the most vocal people, besides what the Astros are going to see next week when they play in LA. And
I guess
the
I'd be pissed if I lived
Dodgers
in Seattle.
fans already have the Astros hats that have the H on there with the Astros.
That. Those, you know why? I actually talked to a Dodgers fan, and I'm not going to out him because he also kind of pulls for the Astros too. He said this. He said, Dodgers are so worried about the Astros. And I said, why? He goes, think about it. Dustin May is out. Kershaw's down. Betts is out. They have all kinds of injury issues. Like, they're afraid they're not even going to make it out of the first round of the playoffs. And you know what? They're so insecure in their 60-game title. You know why? Because they know last year if they had 162 games, they probably wouldn't have made it to the World Series. And I'm going to stick with that narrative. So that's fine. Let's go Astros. And yes, good job in your consolation prize, Mariners, winning one game against us in the regular season. But good luck watching it from the playoffs.
It looks like we're being rated by Mariners fans. But
we are. That's okay. Hey, man, come on in.
That's cool.
Welcome to Locked On Astros. Hey, there's also a Locked On Mariners show that you could probably give your ear to. Subscribe to him. He does a great job. DC Lundberg.
Hey, I wonder who Bet Online would say is going to win the AL West this year.
Well, I definitely would tell you that if you were to bet on the Mariners winning the AL West, you would probably win like $8 billion because the odds are not in their favor. Okay, let's go. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Mariners are big L's. They're losing it. But the Astros, they're winning the AL West. Bet Online has the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your sports action. Baseball season is in full swing, and you can track all the action in Bet Online. They have the latest news, latest odds, all the sporting needs you need. They have the NBA, the NHL, NFL, just whatever's out there, they've got it. You can go to your mobile device, you can go to your computer, and you can type in your team, type in the odds, and if you go to the website or use your mobile device, you'll get 50% welcome bonus on your first bet. Even if you're a Mariners fan, you'll get 50% on your first deposit, a welcome bonus. Bet Online, your online sportsbook experts. Use the promo code Locked On. Yeah, hey, here's the thing. Mariners fans were just satisfied with the playoffs. It's been 20 years. I know it's been 20 years. Like, I was literally in my 20s the last time the Mariners were in the playoffs. I'm 46, kids. So it's okay. We get it. Great win. You deserve credit. The Astros freaking dropped an A-bomb on themselves and imploded. But once we get this bullpen fixed, watch out, because we're coming for you, and we're going to put the foot on the neck, and we're not going to take it off.
Yeah, it's for sure. So there's definitely some trades out there that the Astros could be looking into, and I'm trying to find a tweet. Oh, here it is. So this is from Bet Online, and these are some odds for some players that the Astros can go get. And tell me if you think these are accurate. So this is for Byron Buxton. They're 3-1 odds that the Astros are going to trade for him. I don't buy that at all.
The Astros have a 7th place in WAR in center field. They're not. Byron Buxton doesn't fit on this team. Byron Buxton is injured too much. We don't need Byron Buxton. Next, okay.
All right, Craig Kimbrell, if traded, 11-2 odds going to the Astros.
I think he's a lot more likely to go to the Astros than Byron. Why would we get Byron Buxton? We're not even going after Marte. So I don't even know what all this center field bullcrap talk is. We don't need a center fielder. We need we need pitching, Eric. So Kimbrel, I think, is more likely.
All right. So Max Scherzer, 5-1 odds.
That's decent odds, but I don't know, man. Scherzer wants an extension, Eric.
He's waiving his no trade rights.
I know, but the thing is, he also wants an extension. You're gonna have to pay him 2 or 3 years. And how much stability does he have? How much does he have?
He's been doing pretty good. He's got a pretty good track.
He has, but he throws really hard. And anyways, yeah.
All right, and then Starling Marte, if traded, 5-1 odds to go to Houston Astros.
That's because Ken Rosenthal put on an Astros helmet when they said, "Where's Marte going?" on MLB Network. That's the only reason that's happening. Ken Rosenthal has this great pull with the national narrative, which I totally get it, because a lot of times he's got the breaking story, right? But here's the thing. I would not want to be the GM. I think I used to want to be the GM years ago. Not anymore. That's for the birds. James Click, good luck. Say some prayers for you, brother. Peace, love, and soul grease and all that stuff in between. Go get relief pitching. Go out there and get Rogers and go get Kimbrel. Just go for the jugular. You know what I'm saying? Why not?
Did you see Cubs fans today? They're like, when Kimbrel was walked 2 batters and was struggling, Cubs fans were like, "Hey, we should not have brought him into this game. What if he gives up a whole bunch of runs? That his trade value is going to go down." And then he comes in and retires the rest of the batter. So, that's normally how it goes. So the A's did make the big trade. They got the guy you wanted, Andrew Chafin from the Cubs, and they got him from 2 minor league prospects. One of them's a hit outfielder, and another one's a pitcher. So that's a pretty big move for the A's. The A's they smell blood, just like the Mariners do, and Mariners are a good team. To Jacob, the Mariners are a good team. The A's are a good team. I think that's all the good teams that they have in the AL West right now. The rest of them are see you next year or in 3 or 4 years. We'll see. But the Mariners have been rumored to be looking for Whit Merrifield of the Royals.
I heard about that. Yeah, that would be a big get for them. Whit Merrifield's a solid player.
Yeah, so that would be a big move for them. But the Astros don't really need a lot of offense. They do need to upgrade the bullpen. So I see them going out and getting 2 arms. Are they going to be Craig Kimbrel and somebody else? I don't know. We'll see. But most people think that they're going to get that. But Taylor Rogers was one of those guys that a lot of people thought the Astros would be going after, but he left with the left middle finger sprain, and he is a left-handed pitcher. So that's a little bit worrisome. So that's kind of an issue. And Andrew Chafin is a left-handed pitcher. So that's another one off the market. So that's somebody that the Astros could have looked at after. But hey, good news. Alex Bregman made his first appearance with the Sugarland Skeeters, and he was 0 for 2 with a walk, and he rode home on a Taylor Jones home run. And he made 2 plays defensively at third base. So he's making his way back.
No, that's awesome. That's really good to hear. And I really hope that, I believe Pedro Baez had a clean inning tonight. He did well, and we really need him to get here quickly. And it was good to see Abraham Toro again get the home run. I know when we talked to Mike Stanton, he had thought that the guy going down would be Toro and not Garcia, and Garcia actually got optioned. So it was good for Toro, and all 6 of his home runs he's hit this year have been from the left side of the plate. So maybe he just needs to stay left-handed.
I loved how Joe Smith came in and picked off a runner, and they still checked him for illegal substance.
Yeah, they still checked his glove. I mean,
he's like, I didn't even throw a pitch. What do you want from me?
This bizarro world we live in doesn't make sense half the time.
Well, I love the fact that everybody's like, well, we need to upgrade a catching position. Martin Maldonado has not been doing anything, and then he hits a home run today. So I don't know. I really don't know. Normally, I would have a good feel for what the Astros would do. I think if they want to go for a juggler and just have that ace, you got to go get Scherzer. if you want that ace pitcher for the playoffs, you got to go out there and get Scherzer. Now, I did read a report that his MRI came back clean,
Oh yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with him.
It was a perfect MRI. Apparently, because the Nationals guys were talking, Buster Olney talked about it on his podcast, and he said they'd never seen a more perfect MRI. So I believe Scherzer pulled himself because maybe he felt something. Scherzer's fine, but what's the cost? And the Nationals played hardball. Remember when the Astros went after Bryce Harper and we didn't know about it until after the fact? They played hardball with us. I mean, they wanted Whitley and Tucker at the time. They wanted some crazy ransom, and ultimately they weren't going to. And so, yes, we did lose. Good job, Captain Obvious, Mariners fans holding it down. Good job. And hey, I'm kind of jealous because y'all got a NHL team before we did. That kind of sucks, but oh well. I digress.
Yeah. So Raciel and Iglesias is somebody that the Astros could look at too as well. But Craig Kimbrell is the guy that you're going to be looking at. So Brad Hand, Daniel Hudson are some guys you can look at. There's several names you can look at. And over next few days,
Scherzer and Hand. Let's just go blockbuster. And Trey Turner. Let's just go blockbuster. Let's just blow the.
Why do we need Trey Turner? We'll just sign him this offseason.
I don't because people think that Correa's gone. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. I'm just totally spitballing.
Yeah, I'm enjoying
it's late, bro.
Comments. Yeah. Alrighty. So anyway, tomorrow's game it's gonna be Lance McCullers. Do we know who's on the mound for the Mariners?
The losing pitcher.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah. Did you see what I did there?
Well, I'm surprised this guy's not telling us. It's Chris Flexen.
They don't even know their own team. What are you talking about? They don't even know who JP Crawford is.
Anyway. Chris Flexen is 9-4 with a 3.35 ERA on the season. The Astros actually have pretty good batting average. The only one that really doesn't is Yuli Gurriel. Everybody else is batting 333 and Jose Altuve as well. But everybody else is batting 333 or higher against him. So that doesn't mean a lot, but Lance McCullers is 7-2 on the season with a 3.04 and 107 strikeouts. So the guy that's had success against him is Ty France. He's batting 333, and Kyle Seager is 276 with a home run. So and no Astros have hit home run off of Flexen. So I don't know what to call about this game. I thought today's game was an easy win for the Astros, but tomorrow's game should be definitely interesting.
Yes, and keep up the talk. You will get banned if you go too far on this chat, not to Astros fans, but to opposing fans.
That's fine.
No, it's okay. I just completely blocked him from our chat. Well, no, he's fine. But this guy that I blocked, you can see his name. I'm not going to call him out because he can't see the chat anymore. But it's all good. Look, you can be a fan of an opposing team and root for your team. We don't care. Okay, we are Locked On Astros, and we're going to cover our team, and so we're going to stick to the subject at hand. I think that about wraps it up, don't you, Eric?
Yeah, I did see that John Heyman said that the Astros are not going to really prioritize starting pitching because the prices be too high for it. So, but then also John Morosi said that the Astros are one of the 7 teams that are looking for starters. So who knows?
Yeah, exactly. And I will end on this. Completely disingenuous to say that Rayleigh tried to take out JP Crawford. That is not even close to what happened. So that is a disingenuous, horrible baseball take, and I'll just call a spade a spade. So that's all we have tonight for the Locked On Astros podcast. You guys need to be aware that there is a live NBA draft show coming up. The NBA draft GOAT, Chad Ford, Locked On NBA draft host Rafael Barlow, and Locked On NBA host John Careless will be live this year covering the NBA draft. It's Locked On NBA 2021, brought to you by the Built Bar. Get local expert analysis on each pick, Follow Locked On NBA on YouTube today and watch our live coverage on July 29th. It's just a couple days away, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm H-Town Wheelhouse. This is Eric Huysman. We are Locked On Astros. We're your team every day. Subscribe to our channel if you're listening. And when you get in your smart device, when you get in your car, tell your smart device to play the podcast Locked On Astros.
And we will talk.